everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a good start to your week. Let's do some Vinyasa. We will start out lying down on our backs, like as if you were going to take Shavasana. So stretching the legs out if that's bearable for your low back. And arms down alongside the body, palms facing the ceiling. Just take a moment here to flex both of the toes towards the face, so you're lengthening out the backs of the calves and the Achilles tendon. And then relax the feet. You can just let your feet fall wherever they will. Take a few deep belly breaths here. You might even close your eyes. Start to allow yourself to come into your practice, onto your mat. Arrive and settle. We'll take about 3 deep breaths here. Start to tune into the sound of the breath, the rhythm of the breath, the sensation of the breath. So how does it feel at the back of the throat? How does it feel in and out through the nose? And I'm talking about things like temperature and the sensation, right? So is there kind of an ease to it? Is it easy to breathe in and out through both nostrils? Does it feel like one nostril is more open than the other? There might be a temperature difference. Right? All of these really subtle things that come along with the breath. We'll start to add on slow movement. So we'll begin by just flexing the right toes towards the face. You're just flexing the right ankle, toes towards the face. And then relax that right foot. And then flex the left toes towards your face. So just the left ankle flexes and relax. Back to the right foot, flex the ankle, and now this time make a fist with your left hand. So this is contralateral, your right leg and your left arm. And then everything relaxes. Your fingers spread wide, your foot flops open. Left ankle flexes, right hand into a fist, give it a squeeze. Exhale, relax. Back to the right foot and left fist, squeeze, tense. Exhaling, relax. Left ankle, right fist, squeeze. Exhale, relax. And one more time on each side. Right ankle, left fist, squeeze. Exhale, relax. Left ankle, right fist. Relax. So both fists and both ankles this time, toes toward the face, all 10 toes. Hands into fist, both hands. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, relax. Spread all of your fingers wide. Let all of your toes relax. 3 more times like that. Both hands, both feet. So inhale to squeeze and contract. Exhale to relax and open. Twice more. One more time. Good. Start to bend both of your knees. Plant your feet here for a moment. So you can lengthen out through the low back and the tailbone, and then hug your knees into your chest. You can rock a little bit side to side. So we'll continue with that contralateral movement, which again, contralateral meaning opposite limbs. So our right leg is going to be active and our left arm is going to be active. We'll start with the right foot reaching up towards the ceiling, flexing the toes towards the face, and your left arm is going to sweep up and overhead. Your exhale, hugging everything back into the chest. Your left foot's going to reach up towards the ceiling and your right arm's going to reach overhead. And then exhaling everything back through center, squeeze. thighs in towards the ribs and towards the belly. Right leg up, left arm overhead. Deep breath in. Deep breath out, everything back through center. Left leg up, right arm overhead. Everything back through center. One more time on each side, right leg up, left arm overhead. Everything through center. Left leg up, right arm overhead. Squeeze the knees into the chest. Exhale there. Now both arms, both legs. So inhaling, both feet up towards the ceiling. Both arms sweep overhead, biceps alongside the ears, flexing the toes towards the face. Exhale, hugging both knees into the chest. Wrap your hands around your shins. Continue with that movement. Both feet up, both arms reaching overhead. Exhaling, pulling everything into the belly. 3 times like this. Inhale up, stretch. Exhale, hug it in. Twice more. Exhale, hug it in. One last time. Hug it in, knees to chest. You can begin to either rock the length of the spine, tip of the tailbone, back to the back of the head. If that's not going to work for your spine, roll off to a side and just take fetal position. So either way, in our next breath cycle or two, we'll make our way to tabletop. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Start to right away move into cat and cow. So articulating the spine up and down in this kind of a wave-like quality. Even including the back of the neck and the weight of the head in this. And as you're moving through cat and cow, become aware of your hands. What part of your hand is in contact with the mat? So there's a tendency for the weight to roll to the pinky edges of the palms. Can you get the index finger and the thumb knuckles down onto the mat? And so anytime you're weight bearing in your hands, see if you can come back to this idea of pressing to the inner knuckle mounds. Come back through a neutral spine, walk your hands forward, one whole hand print, so you have a longer tabletop. Big breath in here, let the belly draw down and the heart reach forward. And breath out, hips to heels. This is an active child's pose. So as your hips move back to your heels, your elbows and your forearms stay lifted. Your next inhale, pull the heart forward, coming into that back bend. Maybe it's like a cow-like shape, or maybe the hips draw down and forward, more like a supported upward-facing dog. Okay, so anywhere in between those two ranges of motion. Depends on your spine, your back. Twice more with this motion. Inhale forward, back bend of your choice. Exhale, hips to heels, child's pose. One last time all the way through, inhaling forward. Exhaling back to child's pose. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, shift forward, tabletop. Curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. This is downward facing dog. So your first round, let it be exploratory. So you can bend your knees, you can adjust your hands. Adjust the length between your hands and your feet even. I like my hands shoulder width distance apart. This allows my upper back and my collarbone to spread. It allows space for my head to move between my biceps. And then the same thing with my feet. I like them hip width distance apart, maybe even outer hip width distance apart. Let the tailbone lift and hug those front ribs into the back ribs, and let the back heels be heavy. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, shift forward, lengthen out, find high plank and pause. So in your high plank, press the floor away with your hands, engage through the inner knuckle mounds, slight round through the upper back. Your thighs are squeezing towards one another, active and engaged. Deep breath in here. Breath out, hips up and back, down dog. In between these two shapes for 3, inhale, shift forward, lengthen out. Exhale, shift up and back. Again, inhale, forward, high plank. This is 2. Exhaling up and back. And last time through, inhale, shifting forward. Exhaling, hips up and back. Pause there. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, sweep your right leg high. On your exhale, bring your right foot to the top of the mat outside of your right hand so you have a wide, low lunge. And you might come up onto the fingertips here, or if the length of the arm allows, you can plant the palm flat. But either way, get a nice sense of purchase and pressing the floor away through your hands. Really dig into your right heel bone and press into the ball mound of that left foot so your left leg stays active and engaged. Big breath in. Big breath out. One more inhale here. Now on your exhale, see if you can step that left foot forward wide outside of your left hand, turning the toes out, bending the knees deep, sinking your hips. Malasana squat. So your first Malasana squat does not need to be deep. It can be a little bit more shallow, kind of like what I'm doing. I have my hips in line with my heels versus forcing my hips to sink all the way down. I'm just going to take it nice and easy and breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Hands come down to the mat, hips lift, so you're lengthening out through the backs of the legs as you bring your feet parallel underneath the hips. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Let your head relax. Generous bend in the knees. Option to take the knees right to left in your bend and kind of sway the upper body side to side. Breathing here for 3, 2, last one. So on your inhale, fingertips walk up to the shins, pull the heart forward, spine is parallel with the floor. Press down through your feet. And now feel this force of the fingertips into the shins and the shins into the fingertips. So there's reciprocal energy between hands and legs. Keep that sensation, keep that halfway lift. And if you can, take your arms forward, biceps alongside the ear. Press down through your feet real strong, pull the back body straight up to standing, reaching through the fingertips. Big breath in here. And on your breath out, hands to the heart, folding right back in, right down the midline into Uttanasana. Hands down. Step your way into high plank. Lengthen out in your high plank. Engage the inner knuckle mounds of the hands. Deep breath in. Breath out, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Second side, inhale, left leg lifts up and back. Exhaling your left foot wide outside of your left hand. So your 2 hands have space to plant either on your fingertips or flat palm at the top of your mat with your left foot out to the side. Press down through your left heel bone. Really engage and firm the right thigh. Press down through the ball mound of your right foot. So there's this force, this drawing of energy up from the hands and the feet into the limbs, into the core body. You're drawing energy from the earth, from the mat. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Last two. Last one. We'll see if we can step that right foot wide outside of the right hand and set up our second Malasana squat, turning the toes out. Heel bones rotate in. Bending the knees any amount, sinking the hips. You might explore going a little further if the hips and the knees and the ankles allow, but without force, right? So just exploring. Breathe in. Anything you want with your hands in Malasana. Hands can be down, hands can be at the heart. Last two breaths here. Last one. Hands down to the mat, hips lift, lengthen out through the back body as you bring your feet to parallel underneath the hips. Forward fold. Uttanasana. Fingertips walk up to the shins, lengthen the heart out, spine is nice and strong. Feel the force of the shin bones into the hands and the hands into the shins. See if you can keep that strength and that length as you take your arms forward, biceps alongside the ears. Press down through your feet and pull the back body up to standing, reaching through the hands. Deep breath in here. On your breath out, hands to the heart, folding right back in. Hands down to the mat. Stepping into your high plank. Pause in that high plank to lengthen out through the spine. Press down through your hands, lift your hips up and back, down dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, shift forward again, high plank. Knees all the way to the mat, belly all the way down. Walk your wrists back underneath your elbows. Squeeze your triceps alongside the body, shoulders moving away from the ears. Press down through the tops of your feet. Engage your quadriceps. Inhale, low cobra. So keeping your elbows bent here as you lift the heart and the head away from the mat. And exhale, lower. You can let the forehead touch down. Twice more. Inhale, low cobra or medium cobra. Exhale, lower. And one last time. Exhaling to lower. Press up to your hands and your knees. Meet me in down dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more full breath cycle here. Inhale, lift your heels. Slight bend in the knees and a gaze forward. Step your way up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Keep that halfway lift as you extend your arms forward, pulling the back body all the way up to standing. And then exhaling your hands to your waist. Take a wider stance with the feet. And we're just going to circle out the hips. So rolling your hips forward and then all the way back. Big, big circle with the hips. So this should feel pretty good on hip flexors and hamstrings. Pause through center. Take that circle in the opposite direction. Two more circles. Good. And then we'll come back to feet right underneath the hips. Parallel Tadasana at the top of your mat. We'll set up for tree pose. So you're going to root down through that left foot. Press down through the big toe mound. Turn your right knee out to the right side. And you can take your right foot to the inner left leg anywhere. So it can be down at the ankle, can be at the calf, can be at the inner thigh. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so get that sense of rooting through your left leg. Opening your right knee out to the side. Maybe you take your hands up to your heart once you have that sense of balance. And if you'd like to add on, you can reach the arms up towards the ceiling even. Pause here and breathe. Just 2 breath rounds in your tree, balancing on that left foot. If your hands are reaching up, bring your hands back down to your waist. You're going to stay balancing on the left foot as we release the right foot just a little bit back behind you and making this Trikonasana blueprint with the feet. So left toes are still pointing forward, right foot stepped back towards the back of your mat, and it's at this 45-degree angle. Okay, keep those feet as they are. Bring your right hand down towards the right hamstring and lift your left arm high. Deep breath in here, reverse Trikonasana. And on your breath out, full Trikonasana. So left hand cartwheels down to the shin or the floor, maybe a block if you have it handy, as the right arm reaches high. Inhale here. Exhale here. Bend your right elbow, place the hand on the waist. Take the gaze down to your left foot. Transitioning to Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So bend that left knee. Left hand comes forward like a little counterbalance or kickstand as your right leg floats up to about parallel. So your right hip is making this attempt to open up on top of the left hip. And you might add that right arm up towards the ceiling and maybe even add the gaze. Eyes can follow, or eyes can stay down at the floor as well. Inhale here. Exhale here. Next, we'll sweep that right hand down, squaring shoulder and hip. So rotate the right hip towards the mat as well. Your right leg is still lifted. Bending a little bit into that left knee. See if you can sweep the arms forward, biceps alongside the ear. So you're in this airplane pose or Virabhadrasana 3. Still balancing on that left leg, start to pull the spine upright. One-legged Tadasana, right knee lifts. Bend a little bit more into your left knee and cross that right thigh on top of the left thigh. So eagle legs, Garudasana. Option to take that right ankle underneath the left calf or just squeeze the thighs together. Sink the hips a little bit lower. If you'd like to add on Garudasana arms, right elbow on top of left elbow. You can grab your opposite shoulders or double wrap at the wrists. Deep breath in. Breath out, we're going to unwind. Lifting that right knee back up. Sending the right foot back, landing in a low lunge, soft. Right palm presses down as you rotate the left shoulder up towards the ceiling. Simple twist here. Inhale. Exhale, left hand plants. Step into high plank. Option to move through Vinyasa. That might mean skipping it and taking a child's pose. That might mean shifting forward to Chaturanga, any back bend of your choice. And then see if you can take about 3 breaths to find stillness, whether you're in child's pose or down dog. Last full breath. If you're in child's pose, down dog as you are ready. Lifting the heels, slight bend in the knees, and traveling up to the top of your mat. Inhale for your halfway lift. Extend your arms forward, pulling the back body all the way straight to standing. And exhaling your hands to your heart. And then hands to the waist. We'll move right on to our second side, shifting the weight into the right foot, left knee out to the left side for tree pose. Left foot comes up anywhere along the inner right leg. Does not matter how high it goes. Just work the balance, whatever that looks like for you. So once you've got a sense of balance, so you're pressing down through your big toe mound on your right foot. Maybe the hands come to the heart. And then maybe eventually the arms lift up and overhead. Can you get a sense of rooting strong through your right foot? Just like a tree trunk has deep, wide roots. And the limbs of the tree are just a little bit more fluid and relaxed. 2 breaths here. Hands move back to the waist. Still balancing on that right foot. We're going to extend that left leg back behind us. Soft landing, 2 straight legs. This is your Trikonasana footprint. So right toes pointing forward, left foot just about 45 degrees off to the side. Left arm down to the hamstring as your right arm reaches high. Reverse Trikonasana, deep breath in. And on your breath out, right hand down towards the shin, block, or floor. Left arm sweeps up towards the ceiling. Get a sense of pressing down through both of your feet. Strong and active through both legs. Inhale here. And exhale here. Bend your left elbow, find the waist. Little bend in your right knee as you take the gaze down towards the floor. Right hand extends forward to counterbalance the weight as you shift into Ardha Chandrasana. Your left leg floats up just about parallel with the floor. And then maybe you add your left arm extending up towards the ceiling. Option to add the gaze as well. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Left arm, sweep that down. You're rotating the shoulder and the hip to square with the floor. You're still balancing on your right leg and your left leg still lifted. Little bend in your right knee. See if you can lift the chest and stretch the arms forward. There's always one side that's so much easier to balance on. This is my challenging side. Little bend in your right knee as you pull that left knee forward. You're coming up to one-legged Tadasana, standing tall. And then crossing that left thigh on top of the right thigh, eagle legs. Option to scoop those left toes underneath the right calf. You can just work the eagle legs, or you can add the eagle arms, left elbow on top of right elbow. So any amount here again. Grab your opposite shoulders or wrap at the wrist. Deep breath in and out. Nice and slow, we'll unwind out of this. Unwinding the legs, unwinding the arms. Extend that left foot back. Find that soft landing in your low lunge. Plant your left palm underneath the shoulder as you rotate the right hand towards the ceiling. Simple twist in your low lunge. Breath in. Breath out, right hand down. Stepping into high plank. And lift the hips up to down dog. So skipping that last vinyasa, hips rise, down dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Shift forward, knees to the mat, hips to the heels, coming full circle, child's pose. Option to take the arms alongside the body and let the forehead rest. I always like to rock a little bit side to side here. Just take a few moments to find that energetic shift towards a cooling, meditative practice. Preparing the body for your final Shavasana. So option here today to take a belly down Shavasana. That would look like lengthening out on the belly, stretching the legs back behind you, stacking the hands underneath the forehead, elbows out wide. Belly down Shavasana. Option number 1. Option number 2, obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, maybe it's not obvious. You can always roll onto your back and take that very traditional Shavasana. Same way we started class. And then I always just like to give this reminder that Shavasana is just a place to let the body settle and be still. So if that means seated meditation for you, or adding props like something underneath the backs of the knees, or taking your legs up the wall, all of that is welcome all the time. Whatever you're choosing, start to settle in. Let your eyes close, let your shoulders relax, light tilt of the chin towards the chest. Deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth, exhale the air out. Jaw, teeth, tongue, lips, gums, everything softens and releases. Eyes close and sink heavy into their sockets. The flesh around the eyes softens and releases. A full minute of silence in your stillness. You slowly start to bring your awareness back to the body, the breath. Add movement to fingertips and toes, head side to side. If you're on your back, stretch the arms up and overhead. Breathe into the length of the body and then bend the knees and roll off to a side. Pressing into your hands and rising up. Very brief seated position. Let your sits bones root as your spine grows tall. And just for a moment, take your left palm flat against your heart, stack your right palm on top, allow your chin to rest towards your chest. Take a breath here into the hands. Feel your heart beating. Acknowledge that you are alive, you are here, you are trying, and that is enough. The reverence and gratitude to our practice, all of our teachers, past, present, future, and to the teacher within your own heart.